All right, so today's session is scanning and attaching documents using your phone. But yes, if you do have an iPad, it can work for iPads as well. Yes, tablets as well, because I am going to be screen sharing using an Android tablet. So I would say both phones and tablets are okay for this session today. However, this is not cannot be done on a computer, right? So I'm only showing you how to scan on your smart devices, your phone and a tablet. If you want to use your computer or laptop, that's a whole different process, and it won't be included today in the presentation. So let's just get into it. Why do people scan documents on their smartphones or their tablets, iPads, and so on, right? So the number one main reason is to go paperless, right? When you scan a document on your phone or a tablet, everything is going to be stored on your device, which reduces tons of paper documents in your home. So probably right now, even me, myself, we have tons of files that we have in our house of important stuff that we just want to save about ourselves. Maybe tons of stuff from our doctors that they send us a copy when we go to the doctor about whatever that's going on with us, and then we store it somewhere in a physical folder in our house. But when we scan something on our phone, right, we can save it right in our phone. We can make a little folder in our phone that kind of says exactly, what the document is. We can name it. And it's just, I guess, better for the environment, but also in a way kind of reduces stress because instead of going crazy in your house trying to find this document, you'll have a copy it on your phone that you can search for it much easier than trying to find it in tons of papers in your house. Another reason why people scan documents is really the sending and sharing feature. For me, that is the number one reason why I scan documents, right? So let's say for some reason your doctor needs you to scan maybe your insurance card. You go into a brand new doctor and they say, can you send over your insurance card and your ID? Can you please scan them for me? You can use these apps that I'm going to show you to scan your ID, to scan your insurance card, and you can easily send those items to the doctor, to the receptionist, whoever needs it. Same thing with like a tax attorney. When tax season comes, and they want you to scan your tax papers, you can do that easily on your phone and send it to them right on your phone through their email address. And then lastly, signature. We're not really going to delve into signature today because I feel it's a bit advanced because I am going to show so many things today. But in the future, I can do this again, a part two, where I show you some of the more advanced features, which is like adding a signature. So yes, with the scanning apps that I will show you today, eventually you can add your own digital signature to that document. So right on your phone, you can use your finger to sign the document digitally, or you could type it as in a text and it will add it digitally to your paper. So like if you needed to send it once again to like your tax attorney or to like a real estate agent or so on, and they needed your signature, you could do it directly on these apps that I'm going to show you today. So these are the three main reasons why I'm showing it today, why you should use it in the future. Another thing is we are starting a cookbook for our 50th anniversary in RSS, and we are going to ask people if they do want to participate in this cookbook. They can scan different pieces of artwork or recipes and things like that. So in the future, if you want to participate it, you're one step ahead because you'll know how to scan stuff. Does anybody have any questions on this slide before I delve into how to, go into this process? Okay, so we're gonna get started then. So I am going to do iPhones in its entirety, exactly how I do it, where I go, and so on. And then we're going to move over Android. It is, what time is it? It's 11:08, so we should have time to do both applications in their entirety if, we keep our questions to the ending. And I will make sure to answer everyone's questions. You could also say it in the chat as well. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to stop sharing this PowerPoint and I'm going to share my actual iPhone. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do to scan a document from me going into the app and so on. So I recommend for everyone here today to first just watch what I do, and then you go ahead and you can replicate it on your devices. I did do this class in the center, and I thought the best way people were able to follow along was to watch me first do it and then go ahead and do it. Because then you can see exactly what I'm tapping on and how I'm working working through this process before you try to do it on your own. So for today, we're going to focus on this app for Apple devices called Apple Notes, which is that yellow notepad here on the screen. Okay, so this is my phone screen. And if I look closely, I do have an app called Notes, and it looks exactly like a notepad, but a digital version of it. And that's the app I'm going to focus on. Now, once again, right, you're going to have to swipe left and right to try to find the app. If you do not find it, what you can do is with your one finger, you can swipe up in the middle of the screen or swipe down, like a swiping up or down motion in the middle of the screen, and you kind of get a keyboard where you can literally search for the app on your device. However, maybe it still doesn't come out. So then in that case, you do want to go to the App Store. That is the place where we download all of our apps on our phone, just like how you downloaded Zoom on your phone. You would have to go to the App Store and download Notes, which is that yellow notepad looking icon. It literally is just called Notes. Do not download anything else that is similar to it, because there are thousands of apps called Notes, but the main one is going to look like this. So assuming that you have it downloaded or you're going to download it in the future, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to show you how it looks. All right. Okay. So I'm in my Notes app. Although when I open my Notes app, I have different notes of a lot of things that is, going on. So when I open it up, if I look all the way at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side, I have a little square with a pencil icon. That square with that pencil icon is basically telling my phone I want to start a brand new note and I want to get ready to do something. And within that is where we're going to scan a document. That is where that feature is. So all the way at the bottom, once again, you have a little square with a pencil icon. And I'm going to tap on that. And when I tap on it, right, it opens up ready for me to type something. So the Notes app is used to create notes, but Apple did this cool thing where you can also scan documents within it. So they did a 2-in-1 feature for everybody that has Apple devices. So I'm in my Notes app, and if I look where my keyboard is, if you look on the screen with me, you can see I kind of have this camera looking icon, the fourth icon on the screen at the bottom. So I kind of have like I have this little check with a line, and then I have the camera symbol. And when I tap on the camera symbol, it opens up and it's asking me, what do I want to do? Do I want to insert a photo? Or, like what we're going to do today, I want to scan a document. So don't get confused with scanning a text. Scanning a text just means like you want to translate something to another language. What you want to do is actually scan a document so you can save it to your phone and share it and so on. So all I did was I tapped the camera and it opened up this menu. And I'm going to hit the scan document icon. And as soon as that happens, it opens up to my camera. My camera's here. Right now, you're seeing my office. That's what it just opened up to. And what the phone is doing is it's asking you to put a document get a document ready so it could scan it, right? Obviously, if you're pointing it at an object, nothing's going to happen because your iPhone is smart enough to know that this is not a document. It knows that I'm looking at a keyboard. Same thing like with a pen or my own hand. It knows that this is my hand and nothing's happening. It needs to put a picture in front of you or a document. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to point my phone to a piece of paper. And if you saw very quickly, it's actually automatically taking a picture of this document, right? You could see it's turning yellow, it's highlighting it, and it's snapshotting it very quickly for me. So right now it just took 5 photos of this document right here. And I know that because if I look on the screen very quickly, all the way at the bottom, it says the number 5. All the way right down here where I'm pointing my finger, it says save 5. So that's how I know 5, photos were just taken. So I could save these 5 documents. I could by pressing save. Or I could go back over here where the square icon is to just look at what just happened. So as you can see, this is what happened. It took and scanned this 5 times. Is everyone following still? Is everyone okay? Am I going too fast?
No, good, good.
Okay, good. So once again, right, I didn't hit save. Hold on, let me just go back, right? I took 5 pictures of this document, and I'm not going to save 5 pictures of this document, right? I only need to send 1 document to my tax attorney. I only need to send 1 document to my doctor and so on. So I'm not going to hit save 5 because that would just be redundant. So I'm going back to this icon over here that says the squares. And I can scroll through all of it to see, which one do I like better? Which one do I want to send? And in reality, I don't really like any of them. And the reason why is that obviously I didn't put the paper on a flat surface. I put it on top of my keyboard. So I see a little bit of the background, right? It's not really a full document. I could see the background of what was behind the paper. So I could just hit the garbage can and delete all this mess. Or if I look at the bottom of the screen right now, on the left-hand side, I do have a crop icon. So that's all the way in the bottom left-hand side of the screen. And I could technically crop it to exactly of how I want it to look. And now it does look a bit better. But anytime you scan your document, I just recommend that you kind of, I guess, stand up. You could stand up and make sure it's on a flat surface and you're taking it nicely. So now it you don't want to have anything in the background when you're taking your document because then it's just going to look messy and they probably won't accept it in the tax office and the receptionist won't accept it if you're taking your ID and scanning it and all these objects are in the background. So just make sure that you see that the full page is taking up the screen. So I like this one, but obviously I don't like any of these other ones because I just see the background at the top of the screen. So I could just delete it with the garbage can that's all the way at the bottom right hand side. So I'm just gonna delete them because I don't like them and I'm gonna just keep the new one that I created. So I like this one and I'm gonna just keep it. So now if I look at the bottom, right, before it said 5, but now it just says save. That means I only have one. If I had multiple, it would have numbers next to save. And here we have it. This is our scanned document. It titled it for me. It saw it saw the header on the own document and it's smart enough and it titled it. And this is considered a PDF. It's not considered a picture that we took on our phone. So it's an official document file that we can send and share with people. Um, Now, does anybody that have Apple phones or devices have questions on what I just showed everybody?
Yeah, I want you to just go back because I missed where you scanned it rather than just took a photo.
Okay, so did you see the part when you saw me pointing my phone to like the document on the desk?
I did see that, but I couldn't find where when you started. Where did you go to? You went to the settings, and what did you find
Okay,
under the settings?
so I have the only app I've been in is the Apple Notes. I have not been in any other app. So all of this is within the Notes app. If you look on my screen right now, it's that yellow notepad. That's the app that I've been doing it from the beginning.
So I have to download notes, or it's on there already.
It should already be on your phone, right? But if you don't find it, then you would have to go to the App Store to get it, which is right over here in blue. Right here, the App Store.
Okay, so I have to just look for notes. Okay.
Notes, right. It's not going to say anything else, so don't try to download another app that says some fancier name. It should only say Notes. Someone raised their hand. Loretta, yes.
Hi, thank you so much. This is wonderful. Now, I have the scan document. If I lose the screen, where is it stored?
So if you lose this screen and this is your first ever, I guess, note that you ever created, it's gonna automatically save it into either a folder called All iCloud or something called Notes. You're going to see either of those two options. And when I click on Notes, do. So anytime you do this, Loretta, it's automatically going to save in your Notes app, and it will
Okay.
only get deleted if you decide to delete the notes in its entirety. But it will save automatically, and it can save to the iCloud as well, which I can show later at the ending of the presentation.
Right, so I went back into my notes and it shows me about the want to discard scans, which I don't want to do. So I press cancel
So then, yeah, you want to press cancel.
and then how do I get back into my notes?
Well, what do you see on your phone screen?
It's like as if I'm taking a picture. I feel like I'm back at the beginning.
Well, if you're here taking a picture, right, you can hit cancel in the top upper right-hand corner. Do you see a cancel?
Yes, you know what I did? I didn't press save. That's why when I
Oh,
press
I
save,
see. Yeah, you have to make sure to hit save to save that document once you
okay,
take a photo of it.
okay, thank you very much.
Any final, I am gonna come back to Apple, but does anybody have any last questions before I switch to Android right now?
Is notes listed under any category or it's by itself?
I mean, sometimes it can be in a folder called productivity, or once again, who's speaking? Is it? I don't know who's talking.
That's me, Lenore. I don't see
Lenore,
notes at all. I
Lenore,
don't.
you could also, if you're on your home screen where you see all your apps, you could with one finger either in the middle of the screen, put your finger down or put your finger up depending on your phone's how old
Could
it
you
is, and you can type in notes.
polish
It's
this on this side? Okay?
okay. Any final questions before I go to Android? We'll be revisiting this in a moment. Okay, so we're gonna head over to Android devices now. And with Androids, it is a bit longer, the process. So it's good that I have enough time to show everybody how to do that. We'll come back to iPhones to explain a little bit more of some other features you can do, like actually sending the document to somebody. But that is the main thing I feel everyone should know at the moment. So once again, just like I told those that have Apples, please just watch what I do and then you can do it on your own. I feel that is the best way you're going to understand how to do it. So I'm going to go to the Google Play Store. I'm going there because that is how you download any app that you want on your Android device. So Apples have app stores, Androids have the Play Store. So I'm going to click on the Play Store. And in the Play Store, we are going to download an app called Cam Scanner. CAM and then Scanner. So I opened up my tablet, and all the way at the top, I have a search bar where I can actually type in Cam Scanner. And when I open it up, right, all of a sudden you're going to see all these different scanners that are from all these different companies that all look the same. So just make sure you're downloading the one that says Cam Scanner. It even says CS in the box. Don't get confused with PDF Scanner or whatever other copycats they have of this app. You want to download that one. So I'm going to hit install. And it's going to install it on my tablet. I have to wait until it downloads. All right. It takes a bit time depending on how fast our internet is. All right. So here it is. It installed. I know that because now it says open. I can open the app. All right. So here we go. I'm starting exactly how everyone here today would have it on their phone. So the first thing it does, it says welcome. It's showing us a tutorial of how somebody is doing it on their phone. And we have the little option that says next in blue. So I'm gonna tap on next. And then of course, they're going to try to get us to send them some money, and they're asking us, do we wanna pay for this application? with paying for the application, you won't get any advertisements. You can do signatures, you can have unlimited documents, but I'm just gonna say no for the time being. However, if in the future, if you're someone that finds this, like, this is amazing for you, you really want to use it, as you can see, it's $40 a year, but you don't have to do that. I'm just gonna hit the X at the top upper right hand corner. I have an X, and I'm gonna tap on it with my finger. All right, so as soon as you start the app, it's going to tell you what to do. It shows you on the screen, right? It's telling me to tap on that camera icon, so I'm gonna listen to them and do it. And this is important. So the reason why I had to split it in two is because right off the bat, you can see this is nothing like the Apple, for the Apple devices. It's completely different. So with Cam Scanner, because it's an app that wasn't already on your Android phones, Cam Scanner is asking for permission to use your camera. And you are going to say yes, because that is the only way you're going to be able to scan documents. If you hit do not allow, then you're not going to be able to use the app. So you're going to say yes while using the app. And then they're going to give you another prompt, which is, do you want Cam Scanner to access your photos and your videos? So what that means is that maybe in the future, you have some pictures already saved on your phone that you want to convert them into documents. If that's something that you want to do in the future, then you would hit allow. And now what it's showing us a tutorial of exactly what to do. You're taking a picture and it's going to scan it into a document. But since we don't need a tutorial, I'm just going to hit skip because I don't need them to tell me what to do. So those are like the main steps. All of those steps happened before we even, took a picture of it for a document. So that's why I had to show you exactly what happens when you use this app. And the good thing about it is that I'm recording this. So when I post it on YouTube, you can watch it over again. And everything that I just showed you, those are just one-time things. Once you do that, you don't have to keep doing this over and over and over for those that have Android devices. Those that have Androids, is everyone good so far? Am I going too fast?
No, perfect.
Good, good.
Okay, perfect. So I skipped all the tutorials because I'm ready to do it on my own now. I don't want any more tutorials from this app. So once again, this is the document that I'm going to make into a, scan it and make it into a document. So let's just look at the bottom real quickly. I have some different, names, right? I have single. Next to it, I have something called batch, smart erase, ID cards, translate, and so on. You can see that, right? All the way at the bottom of the screen. Those are just different features that this application has. However, if you're just scanning one document, you're gonna use single, which is at the bottom. But with your finger, you can swipe left and right and check out all the other features that this app has. So maybe in the future, right, for some reason, right, your doctor needs your insurance card, you can swipe to the section that says ID cards and use this use that feature. But we're not going to use an ID card at the moment. But that's what that would be used for. So I'm going to go back to single and stay on single. Single means just one piece of paper that I want to convert into a document. All right, so I'm standing up again because I want to be as close as possible to my document. I want to make sure I'm on a flat surface It's not on my legs that I'm taking a picture of it. It's not crooked and so on. Now, as we look closely, right, the difference about an Apple and an Android is that it's not automatically taking the picture for us. Instead, we have to take the photo. So at the bottom of the screen, right under where it says single, I have a silver button. That silver button is going to take a picture of this flyer and convert it into a document for me. So I'm going to take it right now. And here it is. This is the picture that I just took with it. And all of it that it's doing right now is just saying, you know, is it okay, right? I could crop it if I wanted to. If you see closely on the screen, I have a blue outline. You can touch that and crop it to however, you know, you feel like maybe you missed it and so on. But for me, I think it looks fine. I don't really have to crop it. And at the bottom, right, you can see that there's like this blue circle. It's telling me what to do to hit next. So I'm just gonna follow it and press next. And what it just do, it just enhanced the image and made it into a nice HD copy that we can send out to our doctors, to our coworkers, to our tax attorneys, a nice HD PDF. And that's kind of all that's to it. We hit the little check, and now it's going to be saved on our device. The only difference is that, as you can see, if we look at the top of the screen, it named it cam scanner and then today's date and then today's time. And let's say your tax attorney needs it with your name, right? You don't want the document to be named that. So you can just tap on it and then, you know, change what that name is. So instead of cam scanner, I can say, you know, tech classes. And then when my, you know, doctor gets this, he opens it up and he sees that it says tech classes, not some random cam scanner, today's date and today's time. They wouldn't, you know, understand who's it coming from and what's it about. So those that have Android phones, how's it going? How do we feel about this app? Any questions?
Where did you put the new title? What did you press to put the new title in?
Okay,
I didn't
so
see that.
right, so all the way at the top, right, it now says tech classes. Do you see that in the top upper right? Sorry, not right, left-hand side.
Yeah.
So you could just tap on it and it will open up to this form. And we can just delete where it says tech classes and name it whatever we want. So, you know, so I
Right.
put for doctor, and then if we look in the top upper right hand side, in very small blue letters, it says the word save,
Yes.
and now it's called for doctor.
So you would press the tech classes to get into the title?
Exactly.
Okay.
So in the beginning, right, it wasn't named tech classes, it was named cam
Yes.
scanner.
Right.
So whenever you see cam scanner, you're gonna tap on it so you can change the name of it. You don't worry about what's under their tags. You don't have to do that. Just focus on the title.
Okay.
And now you have a nice PDF document that you can send and share to people. That's not just classified as an image. It's classified as a nice document that other organizations and institutions can save in their file system. Any other questions from Android phones?
So how would you send this to the doctor? How would you
Yeah,
send
so
it?
I'm gonna do that next.
Oh, okay.
If you were searching for, say you had done this multiple times on different documents, you would just go to the CAM scanner and search for the document at a different time. I don't mean now, if you wanted to go back to it.
Right, that's a good question. So right now, as you can see on the screen, it just is showing me my document, right? However, if I look all the way in the top left-hand side, I have like a little arrow. Do you see that? Next to where it says for doctor.
Yes.
So I'm gonna tap on that. Oh, I don't want this. Okay. So if we look closely on the screen, right, it says recents and it's showing my document that I just made. However, if you intend to use this and have multiple documents, if you look very closely all the way at the top, you have a little search bar. It says search all the way at the top. I think I could also I think I could, yeah. I put like a little circle, but it's bad. I'll put an arrow. So all the way at the top, you see it says search.
Mm-hmm.
That is where you can type whatever file you named it and find it easier. So if you intend to use this and you want to put like 50 documents in here, you're always going to go to that search at the top and type in what you're looking for.
Great. Excellent. Thank you.
So I would say for Cam Scanner, this is an application that has a lot of things that you can do within it. So at the moment, that's the features that I'm going to discuss today. But as you can see, there's like so many things that you can do: erase stuff, import stuff, take out text to translate it. And that's going a bit advanced, which I could always do a part 2 to this. So the next thing we are going to go over, I'm going to hop over to iPhones, is sharing, right? So we made our document and now it's time to actually share this document and send it, right? Send it to somebody, send it to our doctor, send it to our tax attorney, whoever it may be. Maybe it's just we want to send the document to our friend. So I'm going to switch over to my iPhone and I'm going to go over to the Notes app. And we're doing good on time, so that's good. So once again, we're gonna go to our Notes app that's on the screen. All right, so this is what I ended before I went to Android. This is where I left off. This is it. This is my document that I created that I can send. I mean, I could crop it a little bit more so I don't see like my boots at the ending. Okay.
Tabitha,
So,
I have the app, but I don't have any documents on there yet because it took me a while to find the app to begin with. So how do I put a document on there?
okay, so once again, we're not putting documents on there, we're scanning documents, right? So in order to do it, you have to find something that you want to scan and put it and send it to someone. It shouldn't be like this. You do want to tap on the document and send it like this. So if your screen is like this and you press the share button, you're just going to share your Notes app, not the actual file itself. You want to actually tap on it where it opens up and then hit the share. Okay. So as you can see, it opens up and it's asking me, where do I want to send it? Is it a text message that I want to send to somebody? Or do I want to send it to them in their email? An email is probably where somebody wants you to send it to, right? Usually they tell you, your tax person says, send it to me in my email. So if you're using Gmail, go ahead and press Gmail. If you use Outlook, AOL, maybe you use Apple Mail, doesn't matter. Whatever app that you use to look at your mail, you want to tap on that and you will see it here. Or you can move your finger to the right and left to find the app. So right now I'm using my finger and I'm sliding this option to see what apps I have. So I tapped on mail, it opens up, and I can type in my doctor's name, whoever I intend on sending this to, and at the bottom you can see the file, February 2024 Tech Classes PDF. So I could go ahead and they're going to get a nice crisp HD copy of your document that you had at home, which you now digitalized it and is now being able to send to anyone. So once again, what I did, I tapped on the share button at the top of the screen. I looked for the app that I want to send the person to. In my case, Gmail is what I use. And then I could type their email address, make sure you know their person's email address. That is also very important. And you could go ahead and send it to them. Questions from Apple phones? I don't know if anyone is raising their hand, but if you are, you can go ahead and say it.
Thank you. I sent it to myself and it came out, so that may not be a question, but this is a good thing. Thank you.
All right. So this is kind of the gist of those that have Apple phones of what, today's class is. Like I said, there are other advanced features like putting a signature, which I'm not really gonna go over today because I won't have time to explain how to add signatures, how to make it nice, and so on. We only have 10 minutes left, and I gotta go to Android right now. But that is really exactly what do you do to scan something on your Apple device. So that Notes app is a very important app to have. It's free, has no advertisements. I have thousands, as you can see, thousands of notes on that app. So that's the pro with Apple and having that app, that you never have to pay for it. You can do it as many times as you want, send as many documents you want to whoever you want.
I usually send documents. I send them as photo. I take pictures of them as a photo, and then I send it as an attachment. So is it the same thing?
No, so when you send, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna also be screen sharing for Androids, but that is a good question. When you take a picture on your regular camera, and do you still hear me? I'm sorry. When you, Lenora, I think that was who was asking it, right? So Lenora, when you take a picture of something and send it as an attachment to whoever, to your doctor and so on, when you send it to them, right, they're getting something called a JPEG or PNG. And I'm not going to go too into specifics, but those are image files. So when they store it on their computer, they can't put it in a section where it's like in a confidential folder where PDF files lie. There will be in another section called photos because you sent it to them as a photo. Now, there's many cases where they don't care, right? The doctor doesn't care if you took a picture of it and send it to them as a picture. So usually it's not a big deal. However, when we get into more like confidential stuff like tax attorneys and things like that, usually most of the times, I mean, in my case, they ask for a PDF. And that is what I'm showing everyone today, that how to make something into a PDF, how to send it securely, and it's HD. But In most cases, when it's not something very confidential and it's like a doctor or coworker or something, it doesn't matter. You could just use your phone and take a picture of something and send it to them like that, which is fine as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I didn't know how to use. I never knew there was an app for the notes, so that's how I
Right.
did it. Thank you.
So now, once again, this is the last thing I'm going to show those that have Android devices, right? How do we actually send this now to somebody? So you can see here, it's still here, the thing that I created called For Doctor. I'm just going to tap on it again to open it up. Here is my thing. And oops, sorry. That was me. I messed up. I'm trying to open this. All right. So I don't think you're going to be able to see it. I was trying to do a drawing, but you're not going to be able to see it. Okay, never mind then. So all the way at the bottom, when I tap on my document, at the bottom, what I see is, I keep messing up, sorry. It keeps moving all over the place. I think I accidentally added a page. It's okay. When I open up my document, at the bottom, I see some icons, and what I'm going to focus on is the icon that says share. So it can be for you at the bottom of the screen, or it could be at the top. I mean, I have a tablet, so right now it's showing it to me at the bottom, share. Remember, you have to tap on the document to see it, to see these new buttons. And when I tap on share, it's saying, what do I want to do? What do I want to do with this file? Do I want to share it as a PDF? Or do I want to share it as a JPEG? What do I want to do? Now, I don't want to share it as a JPEG because I don't want them to get it as a photo file. I want them to get it as a nice, secure document that they can store somewhere. So I'm going to choose Share PDF. And with sharing PDF, right, you can share it to whoever, right? So let's say you want to share it to the doctors again or so on. You have to choose where you're going to share it to, just like the Apple devices. So if you have a Gmail and you talk to your doctors there, or you know they're going to send you their email address there, you can use the Gmail app, tap on it, and right, it's gonna open up where you can type in their email address, and it already attached the nice PDF for you. Usually you communicate these things with a email. You don't really send it to somebody on a text message. I've never really sent anybody a PDF through a text message. It's mostly communicating with an email. So anytime you tap share, just try to find that app that you use to email somebody. Whether that's your Gmail app, maybe you have an app called for OneDrive, Outlook, maybe you have the AOL app, whatever app you use, just find that one to share it. The other options you wouldn't necessarily use it unless you could see that you could send it to a computer, but that's a whole other different lesson. And you could also print it, right? Same thing with Apple, you could print as well. I just didn't go over that. But you see, as you could see on the screen, it says print. You could print the file too. But the purpose of this class is kind of to avoid printing, right? It's kind of digitalizing our documents. Anybody have questions on
Yeah,
that?
I do, Helene.
Yes.
I'm assuming that I could do this. I could bring it up and share the PDF, and I could attach it to an email to Yahoo and send it that way.
You can. Do you have the Yahoo app installed on your
Yes,
phone?
My thing is that I use both systems because a lot publishing uses both systems. One thing for pictures, one thing for words. It's crazy. So I just want to make sure that it's okay to send it between them without any issue.
You can, like when you hit the share icon, it should show both all the apps that you use for like mail, and it should
Excellent.
show the Yahoo Mail app.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any Android questions from this? Okay, so I see I have an Apple question then. How do you organize PDFs in notes? So, I probably do not have enough time to do that, but what I can do for you, the person that, just sent me that email, tutorial online of how people kind of organize it, since I only have 4 more minutes left with everyone. So, I
That
think
would be fine.
Naomi, I think your name is.
Correct, correct. Mhm.
Can you just please send your email again? I know if you told me it before, but can you just
No
please
problem.
type
No.
it in?